It's your girl Jalisa Chantel, and you're tuned in to Boss Talk.
Hey y'all, what's up? It's your girl Omni, and I'm back with another episode of Boss Talk TV. Happy New Year! It is 2023. We have made it. I've been doing this since 2019. I just want to say thank you to all my supporters. Thank you to everybody who always want to interview. Thank you to everybody who always hype me up and tell me I can do it and give me those motivation speeches because I need it. Because some days I'll be like, I don't want to do it no more. But y'all be calling, y'all be wanting them, so I'm here. But today we are here because we have a very, very, very special guest today. We have the lovely, beautiful Jalisa Glover. And
Hey.
if you don't know, now you're about to know. She is over God Restores Ministry, and she's bringing a woman empowerment conference here in Bowling Green.
Yes.
Her pain, her purpose.
Yes.
So she's just gonna give us a little light about everything and how
Mm-hmm.
she started. I know a lot of people when I hear people about church and being Christian, they kind of get like offended. They get defensive. It's a wall up. They don't want to open up. But we're making this a safe place to
Yes.
talk and to be open about it. So we're gonna just start from the beginning. How did you realize that ministry was your purpose?
Well, I honestly I didn't know at first. I actually wanted to do radio.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for a little bit. I did do ghostwriting for a little bit, singing. Let me rewind this. First, I actually wanted to be a singer so bad.
Okay.
I want to be a rapper, actually. So this is actually interesting.
Okay. Yeah. She got to sing.
I wanted to be a rapper, okay? I really did. Like, I wanted to rap. I did rap, actually.
You wanted to be in the entertainment
I
field.
did.
Mm-hmm.
That's correct. I wanted to be in the entertainment field because my family, actually, my granddaddy was in a very famous gospel group.
Mm-hmm.
So I was around the music industry my whole life.
Yeah.
So that I just was, that's what I was around. So that's obviously what I was, privy to.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I thought my purpose was. But then when after tapping into radio, I kind of changed it to where I wanted to go back to school, get my psychology degree. And it was there when I really changed my prayer life at that time. And at that time, I had a mentor and spiritual mentor, and she had suggested that I change my prayers from what is my purpose to what is God's purpose for my life. So once I changed my prayer language and I said, okay, God, what is your purpose? That's when he started showing me. While I was at Western trying to get my psychology degree, that's when he started showing me my purpose is ministry because people were coming to me and talking to me. I was doing psychology classes and I was having to do speeches, and after that a lot of people were like, have you ever thought about public speaking or ministry? Like it was overwhelmingly like signs confirmations that ministry was it. And then I had a friend years ago that told me that I was going to be in ministry, and I was like, girl, bye. I'm not going to do ministry.
Do you think finding your purpose, has like an age? Do you think somebody can find their purpose at 20, or do you think they have to grow and go through those lessons to figure out what their purpose really is?
Yeah, I feel like you can find your honestly the answer, and we've talked about this before, like when I feel like people everyone is wanting to find a purpose now.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like
everybody,
that's it, like what's my
is.
purpose,
Mm-hmm.
what's my purpose. And honestly, I feel like that's what I've been called to, more so ministry and purpose, and helping people, which I also do life coaching, which is called meant for a purpose, because we're all meant for a purpose. So again, if you ask God to show you what his purpose is, saying, hey God, can you show me what your purpose is for my life, and believe that he'll show you, he really will show you. So it doesn't matter if you're 12, 15, 18, 32, 42, 65, 72 in the nursing home. If you ask God to show you what his purpose is, he will show you, especially if you believe that he will, and if you expect him to show you. You have to be expecting it.
So, like, I've been around a lot of people who always want to find a purpose, but I'm one person, like, I haven't ever prayed to God about finding my purpose. Is that a bad thing? I don't want to know what my purpose is. Like, I really don't be like, what's my purpose now? What's my purpose? I just be living my life,
I say this all the time. You don't want to die never fulfilling what God actually intended for you to do.
Okay, that's
right?
a good one, yeah.
Yeah, so I want to do radio, and if I would have kept doing my own thing when God was really calling me to something else, that I would have literally died unfulfilled.
Oh,
God
one.
literally predestined, pre-planned for ministry to be my purpose. And if I would have never tapped into that, I literally would have never been as blessed and been able to be as effective because I would have been doing my own thing. I think we want to do our own thing, and I battled with that. I still battle with that, doing what I want to do. But once you take self out of it and you put God in front of it, He'll be life changing. I've been more successful with ministry because I finally obeyed the calling than I've ever been in radio, psychology, singing, music, right, all of that. I've been more successful doing this because I'm in the lane of what God put me on.
God put me on. Now, was it hard to like adjust to that? Was it hard?
Yeah, it was because honestly, I did not want to change.
Like, was you hearing it at first and you just was like, no, God, no, no, no.
Yes, I was running from it because I've I knew that I was gonna have to let go of some people that I've been friends with for years. I knew that I was gonna have to change some bad habits. I knew I was gonna have to shed a skin of layer like a snake, literally, and become this new being. Because when you're in ministry, you are setting the example. It's an honor for God to choose you to spread His word.
Yes.
So I couldn't take it lightly. So I knew that once I really accepted my calling and I walked in it, I couldn't play no more. Like I knew that I wouldn't be. It's actually a scripture in Revelation that says, just to paraphrase it in more elementary term, that God doesn't like us to be lukewarm. He doesn't like us to be hot and cold. He either wants us to be either or.
Yeah.
And so I battled with saying, I'm either going to be Jalisa that I've always been, or I'm going to be Minister Jalisa, Life Coach Jalisa, Mentor Jalisa, who He's called me to be. So that transition, it was extremely hard, but it's been so rewarding. And I am about to set it off in my family. Like I'm getting ready to, because I'm deciding to be obedient, I am going to be able to be very successful and help a lot of people in the world.
And people need to realize, like, it's a process. She just didn't wake up and say God gave her the call and then she just changed. Like,
right,
it's a process. People
process.
need to understand that. Like, it's a process. It's not magic. It's not gonna happen overnight. It's gonna be those hard times where you're like, I can't do it, but you gotta just keep fighting, keep your faith, and stay disciplined. You know, stay disciplined to where you want to do. So you found your calling. You decided you wanted to do ministry. Then you created God Restores Ministry.
Yes.
So how did you come up with that? Doing the Facebook prayers and
everything? So I started actually.
Well, before I ask you that, was you scared that people were gonna judge you or treat you differently from this being your calling?
Yes, and they did.
Wow.
They did, unfortunately, but it's okay.
Yeah,
because like I've had a past. I'm 16 and pregnant. I went through a lot of things when I was younger in my hometown that humiliated me, humiliated my family. Like I haven't always been like well-centered and obedient and disciplined. I'm not perfect at all, but I haven't always been this Jalisa.
Yeah.
So I was scared, like of what people were gonna say, but I had to bypass that because who are they? They're not God.
No, period. Like, who are y'all? Y'all not God. I don't care. God. So yeah, it does. Yeah, like I think that's another reason why I haven't just fully. Not saying that I'm scared to lose people. It's just like when you're so used to a lifestyle,
and
you're used to doing this, it's just like, it's kind of hard to do it. But sometimes you got back to it. Now let's get back to how did you create God Restores Ministry?
So I actually started that by I wanted to start a women's group on Facebook for us to create a safe place for women to come to, so that you could get encouragement, you can be inspired, you can be ministered to. So it actually was called Sisterhood Matters. It was just a place for women to come. I would post quotes. It wasn't even like God. It really wasn't like God Restore Her yet. It was really just motivation, right? But then God actually kept talking to me and was like, which my mentor used to tell me all the time, there's a fine line between motivating and ministry, right? And she was like, if ministry is a whole different lane than motivating. Like, you can still motivate in ministry, but you got to pick a side.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you're so right. And so that's, God led me and spoke to me. I was leaving my best friend's house. And I was like, okay, God, you've been kind of showing me signs that you want this to be a ministry page and not more of like a motivational page.
Yeah.
And so I was like, what am I gonna, like, I don't know, what can I call it? And then he literally spoke to me, God Restore Her. And I was like, okay. So I changed the name, I changed the colors, I changed everything, like transformation, just like I had to do it myself. I transformed the motivational page to a ministry page and it set it on fire. I started doing Bible studies, prayer calls. Still do some motivational, but I really wanted to bring a place where women could talk about God
Mm-hmm.
and be fulfilled and be happy and be ministered to.
Yeah, exactly. And make sure if y'all not following it, make sure y'all go on Facebook and follow
Yes.
God Restores Ministry because
Hmm.
you know those days you might feeling down, you might be scrolling and one of those quotes pop up and then you be like, all right, I got this. Like, you know
Yes.
that's the motivation.
Yes.
So you created God Restores
Hmm.
Ministry, and then now you decided to do something that Bowling Green has never had
Never.
before,
Mm-mm.
and you God Restores Her,
Hmm.
correct?
Hmm.
So
God restore her ministry.
God Restores
Yes.
Ministry. So what made you decide like, hey, I want to do a conference because it's a
Yes.
lot of pressure.
Yes.
You're coming out of money. You're not looking for
Yes.
nothing back. So
Hmm.
what made you create this space
Yes.
for everybody
A lot of
to
people.
take it to like the next step?
Yes. Yes. A lot of people. Well, let me rewind this. I've been to a few women conferences. The most popular and the most effective one that I went to was Sarah Jakes, which is very well known. TD Jakes' daughter, Sarah Jakes, and a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people always kind of say, "You remind me of Sarah. You remind me of Sarah," and it's so crazy. She's actually one of my mentors, not like in real life,
Like,
but she's someone I look up to.
Mm-hmm.
She was pregnant at 15 and had a baby. Her dad was a pastor. Her dad was a preacher. Same with me.
Mm-hmm.
Her family's well known. My family was well known. So there's so many similarities there.
Yeah.
So
I didn't
that's
even
why
know
I
that
catered
about
to her.
Sarah Jakes. Yeah.
I had to really. That's what made me like, okay, I can look up to her because we got the same story kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, I went to Women Evolve in Nashville, life changing. Went with two of my best friends, and I was introduced to that. Then I went to another one last year called Empower Her, and it changed life changing. And I was like, oh my God, I really want to do this. Like, I'm in my lane now. I'm in my ministry bag now.
Mm-hmm.
Let me bring this. This needs to be done. Like, there's so many parties here. There's so many
Mm-hmm.
different events here that's really more negative. Not negative, but
But it's not what's
it's
for the
not
God.
right.
The
It's
whole.
not really bettering us. So I was like,
Yeah.
let me bring an event that will better all of us and that can be life changing and that can bring women all together to talk about God, business, and we could talk about vision, marketing. So I wanted to create a space for women in this town to all come together, not to gossip, not to have drama, but to be in a room full of powerful women to experience powerful moments with God.
And I think that's so cool. I think it's so
Hmm.
dope that we're finally getting it because, like she said, it's never nothing. Not saying y'all events are not positive, but it's
Right.
just like
Not saying that at all.
drinking and it's not nothing to uplift us, build
Correct.
us,
Correct.
make us feel
Correct.
better about ourselves.
Hmm.
So we are really looking forward to her. Make sure y'all go to that event.
Yes.
When is it?
Yes, so it's February 18th at the WKU Nicely Center. It is going to start at 1:30. Tickets are on www.eventbrite.com. I got guest panels there. We have a young lady there speaking about marketing. I have a young lady who is going to be talking about the importance of vision boards. We're going to have refreshments. You can get a VIP ticket or you can get a regular ticket, but those are on eventbrite.com. Just type in the search box, Her Pain Has Purpose, and it'll pull up the event.